Hello all, I'm Sai and you're watching The Book Dragon. In today's video, I'm bringing to you my spoiler-free review of The Ember Quartet by Sabaa Tahir. This is a young adult fantasy series which has been famous for the past few years on the book internet as a whole, and I just wanted to read the series, so I just went forward and picked it up. I should say that I was totally impressed by the entire caliber of the series because it was stunning as a whole. The first 100 pages of the first book is a bit boring if you ask me, but after that the series just hooks you up completely, and each and every successive book just gets better and better, and towards the climax everything just pays off really well. I'm just going to give a short descriptive review of this series so that if you're interested in picking up the books, it'll be helpful for you. So without any further ado, let's get into the various parts of the review right away. The four books in the series are An Ember in the Ashes, A Torch Against the Night, A Reaper at the Gates, and the last and final one, A Sky Beyond the Storm. Starting with the plot, we follow our two main characters in separate ways who have completely different plots that are to intermingle at some point in the first book. First, we have our most important character, who's Leia, who lives in the city called Serra along with her grandparents and her elder brother Darren. One night what happens is there are these marshals who come and invade Leia's house and kill her grandparents and take her brother Darren as a prisoner, and Leia's task is to escape from there and find this group of people called the Resistance and help Darren get out of prison as well as help the Empire as a whole. On the other side, we follow our other main character named Elias Vittorius, who's training to become a mask, which is actually the highest degree that a soldier can go for, and these masks are the deadliest soldiers that this empire has as a whole. And he's training in this place called the Blackcliff Academy, which is run by this person called the Commandant Kiris. And along with Elias, we also have his best friend Helene, who's also training in order to become a mask, and she's the only female mask who's in training because of some of the customs that are followed inside this world. Because of various things that happen, both Leia as well as Elias's paths get intertwined, and they have to do some things in order to help themselves, their families as well as the empire as a whole without betraying their own principles and feelings while going through very arduous tasks. So as a whole, we follow these two main characters and also Helene, and I'm sure that while you reach the end of the last book, you'll not be able to guess most of the things that are about to happen. Moving on to the characters, we have our three main characters, just as I said before, who are Leia, Elias as well as Elias's friend Helene. It's not like a love triangle, but these three people have a different kind of bond between each other, and the ways in which these bonds actually play and the enmity and friendship that they have between each other is really poignant in all of the four books if you ask me, especially in the second half of the series, that is in the third and fourth books. The relationships between these three characters is really well done by the author rather than anything if you ask me. Not just as a group but also as individual characters, all three of them are unique and so strong. I personally did not like Leia for the first half of the series, but from the second half I liked her too. When it comes to Elias and Helene, I just loved them from the first book itself. Especially I liked Elias a lot more in book 1, and from book 2 I just started adoring Helene so much because she was so much relatable for me in multiple instances as a character. Apart from these three main characters, we also have other main characters like Kiris, who's the commandant whom I said before, and we have some augurs and Jin who also play very important parts throughout the series as a whole. There are also multiple people inside the Resistance itself who are so crucial for the plot of the series to progress, and as a whole I can say that though the series is not totally character driven and mostly plot driven, all these characters, especially the main three characters, are super well written, and it is not like any of the characters is disposable in any way at all. We see some characters who pop out in the second half of the series alone, but their importance is so high that without them you cannot imagine the series to end in the proper way that it ends while you reach the last book. Moving on to the world building, I can say that this is a really lush world for a young adult series if you ask me. It is not like the world just bursts out in the first book itself, because in the first book we just focus inside the Blackcliff Academy completely, but from the second book the world just starts on expanding a lot more because many of the things in the further books in the series happen in different locations inside the single world that Sabaa Tahir has constructed, and I can say that it is mostly Roman inspired. At the same time, it has a really desert like landscape, so it just feels like you're reading a desert fantasy, which is also wonderful if you ask me. I think you can read that kind of fantasy both in summer as well as winter times because it is suitable for both types of weathers. Apart from just the geography, we also have multiple different types and tribes of characters like Efrits, ghouls, jinns, ghosts, storytellers, augurs, and many more. I've just listed a few of the things that Sabaa Tahir has included in this world in order to make it as much rich and vivid as possible. Also, the descriptions of the clothes, the food, the buildings, the landscape was very clear and vivid. At the same time, it was not at all jarring. It was laid out in such a way that it is necessary for the progression of the plot and in order to build this world. At the same time, it is not like very description heavy that you get bored and don't want to read the series at all. So simply I can say that the world building in this one was just in the perfect amount, so that it was not less that I could not see the world. At the same time, it was not very high or over the top that it was very difficult to read and make a picture of it inside my head. Moving on to the writing, I cannot say that Sabaa Tahir's prose is that beautiful. Okay, it is very much straightforward, and I am able to understand the reason for it being so straightforward, because the series is very fast paced, and in order to maintain that pacing, you cannot just go on to just put some purple flowery prose and make it sound even more beautiful, because if she indulges in that thing, it might affect the pace as a whole in many instances, because she does not spend that much time in description and just gives the right amount that is necessary in order to present the landscape to us, and not going into each and every detail of each and every stone. There's also one negative aspect of the writing which I did not like. It was the continuous poking out of the physical features of the characters. Okay, from the first book itself, you easily get to know that Elias has grey eyes, Leia has golden eyes, and Helene has blonde hair. All these things are just clearly said in the first book itself, but they occur again and again multiple times until you end the series. It is not like in a very irritating way, but it is very repetitive. It's not like she is using different metaphors in order to compare these physical features of their beings too. It's not in a bad way also. She mostly describes just their eyes and hair. It is really done in a beautiful way, but if she keeps on stressing it again and again, at the point it just gets a bit irritating. I felt it. I don't think it might be a problem for many people, but for me it was a bit jarring at instances. Finally, talking about the pacing, which I think is the best part for this series compared to anything else. There are things happening continuously, one after the other, no matter what scene you are in. It doesn't feel like any of the scenes or any of the portion of the entire series it's slow in any way or any instant at all. Something keeps on happening, and the pace is so fast. You'll not be able to put the books down at all. It is that good. There are multiple instances during which I felt like I'll end this chapter and keep the book aside, but during the end of the chapter there was something which was to be revealed in the successive chapter, so I was not able to keep down the book. It was really engaging in that way. I can say that the toughest part for me was to get through the first 100 pages, but people even don't find that difficult to read as a whole, because you are just thrown into things and you have to find your way through stuff. The way in which the magic works is also not that greatly explained in the beginning or anything. You just get to learn it as the series moves on. But as a whole, the pacing was just top class, and I cannot say that I've read any other series which was as fast paced and as entertaining as this one. It was not entertaining just in the face value, but the emotions of the characters, the depth that she has given to each and every one of the characters, and the things that the author actually puts them through, all those things just make us want to protect these characters because they just feel that close to us. So yeah, I rated the first book and Ember in the Ashes alone 4 stars, and all the other 3 books I rated 5 stars each, because they totally deserve it. And if you have any second thoughts of whether you want to read the series or not, please keep them aside and just go forward and read the series. I'm sure that you will completely enjoy it. So yes guys, that was my spoiler-free review of the Ember Quartet by Sabaa Tahir. It is seriously one of the best series that I've read so far, as well as one of the most favorite series that I've read this year, that is in 2021. If you found this review useful in any way or the other, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and also share it to your friends. If you want to get more content from me, do subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching and have a great rest of your day.